Okay, sir, we are back for round two of things that I have learned while trying to post vlogs daily. So, hopefully, some of this will be useful for you. Maybe some of it's going to be an aha. Maybe some of it's like, yeah, no kidding, guy on the internet. But yesterday I covered the value of just creating and posting a ton of content to help you figure out what your niche is ultimately going to be, something that's going to resonate with you as well as your followers. We also talked about the importance of building community, reaching out, connecting with people that are creating similar types of content as you are trying to create. And the next thing I want to talk about is the importance of audio. And really, my suggestion would be to prioritize audio over video quality. I don't know if you've watched YouTube's or YouTube videos where they had very poor audio. Maybe they were standing outside and it was extremely windy and you could barely understand what they were trying to say. It's incredibly challenging to make it through an entire video listening to somebody when you hear a ton of background noise, or if you hear the wind blowing and it's just creating all of that wind static in the microphone. People will forgive poor video as long as you have really good audio. You could be shooting with a potato cam and it's a little bit blurry. As long as they can hear you and they understand what's happening, they will forgive video. But audio it's difficult to overcome. So prioritize your audio over your video. So this one is more of an observation, not something that I have personally experienced. People really like watching other people do their jobs, watching other people work. And whether that's watching somebody renovate a house, watching somebody's vlog, like a day in the life vlog, where they get to live vicariously through the other person by watching them do their job, whatever their normal job is. There's a guy, Ian, I don't know if anybody follows Ian, the 7-Eleven guy that works in Palm Springs. He has a really large following of people, and he and his buddy that were working at 7-Eleven were just posting content of their interactions that were happening at 7-Eleven. And they would sit there with their lives running for 3 or 4 hours, and they had a lot of people on there watching them happen. I've seen other creators posting their Uber Eats deliveries and how much money they can make in a day doing that. I've watched some other guy that does junk removal from properties, some other guy that does real estate investing, house flipping, those types of things, and basically just following him around as he's asking his contractors to do certain things or whatever else. But people really love watching other people do their work. So if you happen to be I guess in a fortunate enough position to where you can record what you're doing, because the type of work that you're doing might be interesting to an audience. And the funny thing is, I think even if you think it's not that interesting, as long as it's something that you can record throughout the day and you can let people kind of follow along and see what it is that you do and how you're doing it, you're going to get a big following. So if that's my probably big tip for the day. If you have a job that people can follow along, you're able to record and watch what you're doing, do it. If as long as you can continue to enjoy posting that type of content, I think you're going to get a big following. You're going to have a lot of people watching you. Next one, we're on a number 5 now. Oversaturation on YouTube is a lie. Maybe it's not a complete lie, but I would say it's definitely a myth. There are still examples of people that still quickly get monetized and can grow a large following. It really just comes down to your content resonating with a large enough group of people in order for those types of situations to happen. If I sit here and continue to post this type of video day in, day out, just rehashing the same thing over and over again, am I going to grow my subscriber base? Absolutely not. But I'm fully aware of that. I'm still in the development stages. I'm well under 100 videos total on my channel. I'm still working to kind of figure out what it is that I want to do long term. Maybe tomorrow I'll talk about like the history of my channel and what I had set out to do initially and kind of where we're at today. But Oversaturation is really, it is a myth. So I would not let that stop you from jumping in and posting your content. If you think you have a great idea, if you think that you're going to be an absolute hit, jump in and do it. Just don't give up right away, because it can be kind of a grind. So is it oversaturated? Well, yeah, there's a lot of people on YouTube. There's a lot of content that gets posted every day. Can you still blow up? Absolutely. Are you going to be one of the people that are going to blow up really, really quickly, get monetized overnight, and have 1 million subscribers? Probably not. You're probably going to be with the rest of us that are going to be part of the grind. But I think that there is value in that grind, in posting every day, in order to slowly build up a subscriber base. Don't let the people that say it's oversaturated, you're never going to make it, just ignore all those people. Just go post, make some content. Don't expect your family, your significant other, those that are close to you, your closest friends, do not expect them to be as enthusiastic about your YouTube endeavor as you are. Meaning, don't expect them to be all in on, hey, I'm going to record everybody while we're sitting here trying to have drinks or while we're trying to have dinner. Not everybody's going to be as enthusiastic as you are. So prepare yourself for that. They're not going to be, maybe, I don't want to say not going to be supportive, but it kind of comes down to, that's how it can feel at times, is that the people closest to you don't necessarily understand what it is you're doing or why you're doing it. So they're very likely not going to be as enthusiastic to jump on camera and have a conversation and expose personal things that are happening in their lives. So you just need to understand that up front and work around it, learn to adapt to the fact that they're not enthusiastic. Maybe one day people will become more enthusiastic, and at that point you can kind of integrate them into your flow, into the videos, into the work that you're doing or creating. But until then, just have that expectation up front. They're not going to be enthusiastic. If you just start with that expectation, then you can maybe be pleasantly surprised if somebody says, "Yeah, I'm totally down. I want to be in your video." And then the last thing that I'm going to include is just going to be a 2-video series. I was going to try to draw this out all week, but it's like, nah, this is going to get boring. So the last thing I want to talk about is the YouTube Studio. YouTube Studio will absolutely bring you to your knees, and it'll keep you there if you let it, because it just messes with you mentally and emotionally. And I hope everybody caught that little Rocky quote. But the reality of YouTube Studio, especially when you're a small channel and you don't get a lot of views, there's not a ton of information that you can really leverage in order to try to make your views better. So I would suggest, yes, you're going to keep an eye on it. You're going to see how many people are obviously subscribing to your content, how much time they're spending watching your videos, whether or not they like it. You're going to know if they leave a comment. Other than that, don't spend a ton of time in the studio. Just focus on your commitment to yourself to produce the content. You started doing it, or maybe you have yet to start, but you're about to start doing it for a reason. Just constantly remind yourself of that reason. Stay focused on that. Continue to produce the content. And at the end of the day, even if nobody ever watches it, so be it. In the process or throughout the process of creating the content, you're going to learn a lot about yourself. You're going to learn new skills. You're going to learn new filming techniques. You're going to learn new editing techniques. So regardless of whether or not anybody actually ever consumes the content, or your channel blows up to maybe a place that you have in your mind, it's not going to be for nothing. You're going to learn new skills along the way, and I think that there's a ton of value just in that alone. And when you do have your community commenting and trying to interact with you, be sure to respond to those people that are making an effort to engage and be supportive and take the time out of their day, not only to watch your content, but to leave a comment. Some of my videos, I have some comments that I can tell people really invested some time trying to craft a thorough and comprehensive response or comment in those videos, and I don't overlook that time investment that they made, and I'm honored whenever I see that, because it's like this person legitimately cares, one, about how they represent themselves online, but just the fact that they took that amount of time to craft such a thorough message, it means a lot to me. So I don't ever overlook that. So please do the same whenever you're building out your own channels. Don't overlook the fact that people are taking time out of their lives in order to interact with you, so don't take that for granted. At the end of the day, you need to be happy with what you are working on and with what you are producing and what you're posting. And as long as you are satisfied with that, it's going to come through in the videos. You're going to find your audience. It may take longer than what you initially anticipate, but I'm saying just use that 100 video mark as probably a solid marker on, at that point, I have enough practice to now where I can be able to tweak some things and really maybe niche down, so I can find that niche that's going to be better received by a broader group of people. Anyway, hope something in all of that was useful for somebody out there. Hope you had a fantastic day, and we will see you all tomorrow.
Open my eyes, I slept through the day. Slept through the day, feeling uneasy, I push it away. Push it away. Last night was fun, don't feel like today. Feel like today, let's do it again, let's go on a date. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna take you out.